And you're asking, like, what do we do about?
Because you signed a contract with someone.
So real quick, before you did that, did you?
More than 30 years. I got my real estate license in the
And your origin story.
Is that he made an age joke the last time we were. I'm gonna use that Kuka.
You know, I'm a little more strict with what I'm looking at.
Hey everyone out there in YouTube and Facebook land, how you guys doing today? Hope everyone's doing well. I am here. So we're here for another episode 19 for the Real Estate Talk with Randy Stedwell. We are here to do some role playing as well as running some numbers from some deals that are being posted on the Facebook group. So I'll run the numbers at least on my end, what I look at them. That way it will help you guys understand how they are, you know, what buyers are possibly thinking of, at least from my understanding. There are the comments here. So if there are any differing opinions, please do put in the comments. If you want me to go over a deal, excuse me, if you want me to go over a deal that you currently have under contract or anything like that, please put it in the chat. We'll look at it. We'll see what we can do and kind of go from there. So with that being said, you know, happy to show you. First off, I want to go over how to talk with sellers on how to talk with sellers and kind of role play a little bit. So with that being said, sellers are always going to be looking for the quick cash, the quick money. They're going to be like, well, I want an all cash offer, but I want it in retail. I want retail price. I want whatever Zillow says, right? So what you do is you go through and you talk to them and you try to figure out why. Why do they want that price? Why do they want to figure out, you know, what's their motivation and figure out what is keeping them saying, hey, I want that price. Well, what if it's just because that's the price that they see? Okay. So you have to check it out and you have to talk with them deep dive. This goes back to what we were talking about last week on building relationships and building rapport with the seller. You have to figure out exactly why they want to sell. What is their reasoning? And kind of take it from there. So, for instance, if their reasoning saying, oh, I just want that price, and if I don't get that price, then I'm not moving, then they're not motivated. Okay. We cannot convince people to sell. We cannot convince people to give us their house or anything like that. So we're here to be able to give them options. That is it. Okay. So with that being said, if they say, oh, I want Zillow price. Oh yeah, but I have a mortgage. I'm trying to figure out this. Okay, great. If they don't really have equity in their house, there's other options, the creative options. Okay. If you figure out that, say, hey, the reason why they need, say, they want that price because they want to walk away with, they want to be able to walk away with, you know, 20 grand and after they pay off the mortgage and taxes and everything. Well, now you get down to the meat. Okay. Well, for us, this is how you would bring it up. Well, for us, cash is expensive for us. So we need a bigger discount for cash, but we can usually come up and higher in price if we can take over your existing debt. Is that an option that you might be interested in? Okay. We can talk further about that and how it would work. But I could give you, say, your $10,000 or $15,000 cash up front as a down payment, and we would take over your mortgage payment. That could be at 3%, 3.5%, 4%, whatever. We would have to get all that information from them, but it's something that you would talk with them and see, hey, is this something that you'd be interested in? And if it is something that they'd be interested in, then you run the numbers, you get the rest of the information. Okay. That's kind of how you start going forward that way. If for some reason they don't want to give you the information, then say, Mr. Seller, I completely understand you don't really want to go out there. If that were the case, then I have to give you my all cash offer, which is going to be a lot lower. Okay. And you're probably going to have to be coming to closing with cash to pay things off. This way, at least I can try to come up to your number and we can see if we can make a deal happen. And that way it works out for both, because I hope you understand that I'm in here to make money. This is my job. I'm not a charity. I know you don't expect me to be a charity. Okay. So, and you get through to them that they understand that this is a business. You are there to make a profit. And they're like, oh, as long as you can help me out with if they're motivated enough, as long as you can help them with their situation, then they will be happy to hear. Okay. They'll be happy to help out. They'll be happy for you to help out and kind of take it from there. So with that being said, in the chat, if you are in the chat, put over off to the side any scenarios that you want me to go over. I'm happy to bring it. If you want to come on video or even just audio, we can put the chat over here, the link to the StreamYard where you can come on. And so I did it to the YouTube, and I'm doing it to the Facebook group as well. If you want to come on, and we can play some role playing as well. Okay. I'm all for that. I want to help out as many people here as possible, and role playing some live calls or some calls in general, I think will help everybody out there. So these are the scenarios that I've come up with, and the scenarios that I've seen. These are my own experiences, and these are reactions that I've seen come from the buyers that I've talked with. Okay. So with that being said, like, as soon as I bring up, if they're a higher price, I do exactly what I just said. I always go for the cash offer first, but if they're too high of a price, or, we can kind of meet in the middle, I let them know, hey, sometimes we can come at things with a creative option. If we can, is that something you might be interested in, where we would either pay on payments, whether do a seller finance, or if you have an existing mortgage, we could take over your existing mortgage. Okay. Is that something you might be interested in? This opens the conversation. Okay. With that being said, if they're open to it, then when you give them the offer, you give them all offers. Okay. In order to do that, you got to get all the information. Okay. So with that being said, you can do, that is the reason why I do have the, I'm going to, this is the seller finance calculator that I have. Okay. And this is the way that you would figure out what is a good price for you. Okay. whether you want to do a 5-year balloon payment, whether you what interest rate. There's a link here that tells you what the balloon payment would be at what interest rate and what payment. And this will help you determine on your cash on cash return what you're comfortable with, so on and so forth. Okay. This will also help you with your with a sub 2 deal. You put the correct information in here for a sub 2 deal as well. It acts the same way. Okay. The only fields in here that you change is anything in yellow. Okay. Same thing for buy and hold, and also fix and flips. Okay. Another big popular thing right now is it's called a novation agreement. Is if they're really stuck on their price, but they don't want to do a seller finance or anything like that, you pitch a novation agreement. You pitch, hey, how about we can try to come up to your price? Let's see this. We lock it in at, you bring the price down a little bit if you can. But I'll put up the money for the renovations. We'll flip this. Okay. And then you just get paid out on the back end. That way I don't have to put out the purchase price, and you can, and we both benefit that way. Or you can simply do that and then say, we split the profits over X amount of dollars, whatever the case is. Okay. However, the good thing about seller finance is that you can negotiate it however you want. Okay. So, also we have the rehab calculator here. The rehab calculator, you can do all your individual stuff. This is where you're going to go in depth, but if you wanted to do a quick rehab, and if you wanted to do a quick one, then you would do whatever your per square footage for light, medium, and large, and then put in the square footage of the home here. And then this is a drop down menu. You'd select light, medium, or heavy, light, medium, or large rehab. And it'll come up with the purchase price here, or the renovation costs. So with that being said, again, chats are open off to the side. Please do put in any scenarios that you do want to hear. I'm happy to go over them. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to open up this screen share, and we are going to look over any deals that we have here in the Facebook group. Okay. So this is the Metro Detroit off-market real estate group. I just changed the banner there today. We'll see if that works. I like making little changes here and there and see how things work. So with this being said, I try to keep this group as much centered around real estate as possible. I try to keep the spam to a minimum as much as possible. So please do, if you have any questions about anything real estate, come in here. We have about 4,800 members in this group at the moment. Okay. And if I don't have the answer, somebody in here should have the answer. So we are posting deals. I know it seems like it's not, but we are posting. This is a commercial deal here. So we are getting some commercial deals. People that post, oh, I got a nice duplex rent ready after, post the full deal. If you want to get it gone, post the full deal. When I see this, normally I see it's priced too high. Most likely it's priced too high, or somebody's just being lazy. So this here is the Warren deal that I've been seeing going around right now. They're asking 36.5. I also just got somebody sent me this deal with an upcharge at 55. It's crazy. So this guy Yuval is usually pretty he's pretty active in the group. So he's probably the person who has it directly under contract. I don't quote me on it by any means, but this has been in here for a while. I think, for 36.5, I'd have to walk it to see if there's space enough to make it back into either a 2-bedroom, because it being a 1-bedroom in here is not a very good appetizing, and it's a very small place. So I'm going to try to find one that this one's for rent. And let's see here. All right. So we got a one in the 48228, 45 cash only. So we have let's look over here. The photo link does not work. And that's a key. Like, if you're going to post a deal in here, make sure your links work. All right. So newly vinyl windows throughout, 2 water tanks and furnaces will be provided at closing. Okay, so the water tank and furnaces are taken out because they don't want to be stolen. New PEX plumbing, new electrical renovation started but never completed. Selling it as is. So I'd really have to see exactly how far in. Okay. They're saying ARV is 128 to 133. Okay. So let's just do because this is probably going to be a buy and hold situation. All right. So at 45, we're going to do 45,000. Okay. All cash. And rehab costs. Let's see what the rehab costs they're trying to estimate. I'm going by their numbers here. All right. We can run. They have comps already here. I'd have to see if those comps are actually valid, to be honest. But based on the outside, let's see here. This is great opportunity. This is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath each unit, so it's a duplex. All right. So let's put rehab at. Let's put it at 30,000. Okay. Closing costs. Let's put it at 2,400. Okay. Mortgage payment's going to be 0. All right. And so with rent for a 2-bedroom, we're going to say it's probably going to be about 900. So 900 times 2, we're going to be at 1,800. Okay, so on that being said, the taxes on this property, I'm going to estimate the taxes to be right around 2,500. It might be less, it might be more. Don't know that yet. 1 second here. I'm going to go back. Insurance, we're probably going to be at like 1,200 a year. Okay. So let's bring up the calculator. And if you look on here on the calculator, so I did 45, the purchase price is 45,000. The down payment is, because this is all cash, it sticks to 45,000. The rehab cost would be roughly 30,000. Okay. Closing costs roughly 2,400. Okay. So we have the mortgage payment. This is right now we have this set at 0 because it's going to be an all cash deal. Market rents would be 1,800 because it's a duplex, 900 per unit, 2 units, not, that'd be 1,800. We are taking a 10% out for management, 5% for vacancy, 5% for capital expenditures. For the taxes, I'm estimating about 2,500. It might be lower because it's in Detroit. I'd really have to look that up. And in order to do that, I can go over here to this link. But I want to get through more deals here. Insurance, I'm estimating right about 1,200 a month. If you have more deals, you can get that cheaper. All right. So it looks like estimated cash flow is about $1,131.67 per month. Okay. So we're working on about a 17.5% cash on cash return. That is a pretty, I think at 45,000. Okay. That works. If somebody comes in and does 40, that's 40,000. That comes in at 18.76%. I think that will work. It really just does depend on the rehab estimate. I would be able to gauge a little bit more if their photos linked worked. Always got to check your photos link. I'm not going to go private messaging everybody, checking the photos link. And they may even come back and say, oh no, this only needs about 10 grand worth of work. How do I know that? I don't know if the person did the work previously. Okay. If the person did the work previously just did not do a good job, or if they, what was the issue? So what was the issue? They didn't run out of work. I have no idea. So something like that is where you really have to check it out. Let's see if I can find another one. This one is on 9275 Allene Street, by the way. I think at 45, it could be a deal. Okay. You're going to be all in. Let's see. You're going to be all in total investment for 72.4. And if you wanted to burr that out 100%, you can easily do that. Or if you just wanted to keep earning the cash on cash return, I think that's a good deal. Especially because it's a brick house. Okay, I showed you the front picture of it. It is a brick house, and whether that's a decent area, let me check on that real quick. Another thing that people need to realize. Okay, so this is it's an okay area. Okay. It's in an okay area. It's not too bad, but it's not the best either. All right. It's the 48228. And the downfall that you're going to have is it looked like there was some vacant properties right next door to each side of it. So, that's also a downfall. All right. With that being said, like I said, I think for 40, it's a great deal. For 45, it's an okay deal. That's my opinion. So for the right buyer, honestly, I think if a out-of-state buyer can come in here and actually do this, 100%, I believe that they can come in here and do this if they have a team. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to bring that down. And so that's a few of the deal that's one of the deals that we went through. Okay. One of the scenarios that I see other wholesalers bringing me deals with is they are on market. I have nothing against on market. Buyers have nothing against on market, but it still has to be a deal. If you come and say, hey, I have a property, it's $75,000. Okay. It needs some work and ARV is 155. Okay. These are your numbers. I look it up and it's on the market for 69,000. You think I'm going to pay over what it's on the market for? Also, it's been on the market for 200 plus days. It's not a deal. Okay. It's just not a deal. So if the biggest buyer's market or the biggest buyer's pool out there is saying it's not a deal, then it's probably not a deal. That biggest buyer's pool is the MLS. I will honestly wholeheartedly say that. All right. But at the same point, not everybody's looking on the MLS for deals. I agree that you can find decent deals on the MLS for wholesale deals. But whatever you're trying to sell it for has to be under the listing price. Here's another issue that you have is when you talk with the seller, you say you submit your offer, okay, and they accept it. I'll use these numbers for example because there was a situation that happened. They're asking $49,900. You offer them $26,000. Okay. They accept it. What do? They bring the price online. They say it's pending, but they bring that price from $49,000 down to $26,000 on exactly what they accepted from you. Well, guess what? Now your buyer is going to wonder exactly what's going on because the days on the market does not change. The days on market does not change whatsoever. So now you're going to have a very hard time selling that deal, even if you're just trying to sell it for $35,000. And there were a couple of wholesalers that I did advise this. And as soon as we saw that it lowered the price on listing, I told them to go back to them and tell them, sorry, we cannot do business at this moment because of what you did. My investors feel like they're not getting a deal. Blah, 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 this, that. And you kind of take it from there. You have to learn from that. When talking with agents as well, you have to let them know, hey, this is my plan, or this is what we are doing. I'm working with finance partners. I'm doing this. We get this in there. This either has to go as pending but the price can't change as far as what is being listed at. So you learn from every single deal that you do. And as long as every deal that you do, you just keep compounding on what you're learning. Okay. So anybody out there that has had any of these issues, please put them in the chat. Let me know and, kind of go from there. I don't know how long today is going to be, but, we're probably not going to be going for very long. Depends on how much interaction we get in here. So anybody wants to come in here and do some some role playing, by all means, let me know, and we can definitely do that. So I am going to put the link in the chat again, and for anybody else that is watching. All right. So on here, you can come on in here. We can role play any type of situation that you want. Kind of go from there. We did have somebody that I was going to have on here today. Unfortunately, could not make it, and so I had to pivot in the last minute. So with that being said, somebody did say they wanted to bring up, how do you bring up sub 2 or creative financing? I kind of already went over that a little bit, but basically all it is you're asking, hey, if I could come up to your number, but we'd have to do terms or make payments. They'd ask, well, what are terms? They'd say, well, we make payments on a monthly basis, because when we put out cash, it actually cost us money. Okay. So with that being said, it's kind of like it's either a seller finance, or if you have an existing mortgage, we can take over your existing mortgage and do a down payment. You kind of tailor it towards them, because one of the questions you should always be asking is there a mortgage on the property? Do you currently still owe money on the property, or do you owe it free and clear? You should always be asking that no matter what. So you need to always get that information out. If they say, oh yeah, I don't know what that is, so that's no. Okay, great. I understand that. But keep in mind, when we are doing a cash offer, it usually tends to be a lower offer because of that. When we can do a creative finance offer or a creative option, we can usually come higher in price. So that's where we would come on terms and kind of make payments to you. So one question I always ask them as well is so if I gave you the full ask what you did in cash, what would you do with it? Are you going to put it towards another property right now? Are you going to put it in the bank? Are you going to put it in the stock market? Are you going to put it in the mattress and just sleep on it? I mean, what are you going to do? And if they say, well, I'm going to purchase another house. Okay, great. You know what? It sounds like creative option might not be for you. But if they turn around and say, well, I already have the place bought, I'm just going to stick it in the bank or do something like that. Okay, awesome. Well, when you sell this property, because it's an investment, you're going to end up having to pay taxes. Bring up the tax strategy where doing a creative option on terms, they only pay taxes on what they get at that moment. So if we give you $10,000 for a down payment, you're only paying taxes on that $10,000, and then every monthly payment after that, and that's it at that time. So things like that. Those are a lot of good options that you have to bring up. A lot of this is going to be while you work or as you go, you're going to see opportunities to insert all of this information. So you should have some sort of cheat sheet or some sort of script off to the side. And I'm not saying you read off of a script word for word, because they're not going to be reading off of a script 100%. You follow along with where they're at. Okay. What I mean by that is yes, you stick to your script, but you have to still you still have to know how to pivot. Okay. What I mean by that is okay, great. You see the cash option is not working, pivot to creative option. If that ends up not working, pivot back to cash. And what I mean by that is I say, okay, well, it sounds like that's not going to be an option for you. Well, what we can do is we come up with a few different options. We'll come up with an offer for a few different options. But I have a question. is something like going on the market something for you? Because we might not be the best offer for you. And if that's the case, I do have a couple trusted realtor friends that are really great at what they do. They may be able to help you. You just might end up having to put a little bit of work into the property. So you kind of talk with them and let them know, because, hey, this is, it's probably not going to pass inspection as it is. If you put, XYZ, whatever the case may be, and you say, I'm just going by what you're saying the property's condition is right now. Okay. Oh no, I don't want to put any work into there. I don't want to put another dime in there. Okay, great. Well, let me see about my options. I'll see what I can do and come up with. And we can kind of come up with a creative option and come up with an all cash offer. Okay. Now, do not give them that option right then, or don't give them the offer right then and there. But if you think it's worth going on an appointment, book an appointment. If not, try to run the numbers based on what they said the condition is, okay, and what you think the budget will be. Now, keep in mind, if they say the condition is okay and it's good and it's only going to need $10,000 worth of work, budget double that. I'm sorry. It's never that. All right. So you have to be realistic on the budget no matter what. All right. But with that being said, run the numbers based on that, then give them the caveat, hey, I still got to walk through the property, but this is a rough estimate of what I think we can offer. And you give them the creative option, and then you give them the cash offer. Okay. If you can give them the cash offer and they're happy with it, great, move on. If you want the creative option, say, okay, sir, well, this is the terms that I think that we can do. Oh, I don't want to pay 0% interest. I don't want you paying 0% interest, blah, blah, blah. The markets, the way they are, blah, 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 this, that. Well, you, sir, Mr. Seller, tell me exactly what would work for you. Okay. If you need higher interest rate, I might need, the payment needs to stay at the same. Okay. I still need to be able to cash flow. I hope you understand that. We're in here to make money, and we're here to, have a business. It's not a charity. And as long as you keep the expectations on the fact that you're here as a business owner, then most homeowners are on that. As long as they are motivated, they will understand. The problem comes when you have a seller that is not motivated and they just want their price, and they want it on all cash and no realtor commissions, no nothing. So you have to look at that. Unfortunately, that is a lot of sellers nowadays. And that's where we have to start educating them. And what I like to do sometimes is I'll pull up comps. Oh, sir, you know what? I saw this one sold for all cash right down the street from you for $50,000. Oh, okay. I saw this flip went really, like, it was fully done to the nines, everything, right around the block for 110, and you're thinking you think I can sell it for 150 after it's all done? I can't see that. This one sold for 110 and it was completely redone. So by educating them exactly what the market's doing, okay, you let them know, hey, I can't take comps from last year. Just the market, the way it is, it's changing so fast. That's just how it is right now. So I completely understand. Hey, if you don't want to sell, that's perfectly fine too. I'd hold on to it for a few more years and see what you can get out of it after that. But what I recommend, instead of holding on to it and doing nothing with it, maybe put a little bit of money into it and try to get it rented out so it can bring you some income. Then you bring in and you let them know, hey, is there any place that I could be if they deny your offer, say, is there anything I can do to help you out right now? I understand you didn't take my offer. That's perfectly fine. Do you need help with anything? I'm truly just trying to see if I can help you in any way. Do you need a contractor's number? I can forward you. Do you need a realtor's number? I can forward you their number. Just try to be as helpful. The more you do that, the more when they do sell, they're going to call you back. And I've had that. I've had sellers reach back out to me a year later saying, okay, Randy, I'm ready to sell. I really only want to sell to you anyways, because you're very honest, transparent, and you were very helpful, so I was extremely happy about that. So, I don't see any questions in the chat right now. So with that being said, I think we're going to be ending the stream. I did want to bring this back up for one more time. If you did want to get this calculator, okay. If you did want to get this calculator, you can go on my website. It's in the description. It's randystedwell.com, just myname.com. It's under digital downloads. Okay. You get this is an Excel document. Okay. And you get all 4 of these tabs. All right. And this is only $20, $19.95. All right. This is the only way that I have where we can support the podcast at the moment. I'm working on more. We do also, if you do need a purchase agreement and an assignment of contract, we do have those for sale on the website as well. If you buy the purchase agreement and the contract and put in the coupon code combo deal, you'll get 50% off of those when you buy both of them. Okay. And again, this one's $19.95. I made it very inexpensive for people. It's a very good calculator. I wanted to have something where you can have it and it's not a subscription. Okay. There's a lot of subscriptions out there at the moment. And so I guess if you want to say that this podcast is being sponsored by our deal analyzer, then I guess it is. So with that being said, I really appreciate everyone taking their time out. We did get a few views on here. Anybody who is in the Facebook group, come join the Facebook group. If you're not, check us out on the Metro Detroit Off Market Real Estate group on Facebook, and we will get as much deals going, and let's all do deals together. All right. That's what I'm here for. That's what we're trying to do, and kind of take it from there. All right. With that one, have a great day. It was a great show, and see you guys on the flip side. We'll be here again in 2 weeks. Not next Monday, but the Monday after. We're going to have a guest on. We definitely will have a guest, as long as they don't keep canceling on me. I'm going to definitely get somebody on here next time. All right. So you guys I know you're probably sick and tired of just hearing me talk. Have a good day, and talk to you later.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too.